Hey, what's up? Policy Q here.
Cassandra Lee, and together we are
The Power Couple. What's going on? So what we're going to do on this video is we wanted to actually kind of talk about the outline of the funnel that we sent you, so then you can have a better understanding of exactly how it works, because we kind of send you a PDF with not much writing or wording to back it up. So we're doing this video to kind of clarify exactly how this funnel can work for Barbizon, and we're also going to be sharing a couple of insights here and there. Pretty cool stuff.
Yeah. So first thing, I just want to start off with a story, because I think it really can reflect a little bit about what's going on here.
I love stories.
I love stories too.
You're a good storyteller.
So I was reading a book, and in the book, I was talking about a guy who, was running a fitness business, and he was running it using Facebook PPC, kind of like what we do here at Barbizon. And, he was getting a ton of lead flow. And out of nowhere, he started noticing that the flow kind of didn't stop, but it wasn't really producing enough for the business. In fact, he realized he was spending $116 for a $97 sale.
Ooh.
And so he calls this expert over, and he says, I really think that, my ad copy might be wrong. Is it the picture? Is it my landing page? What is going on with my sales conversions? I need your help with the traffic and the conversions. And so he sits there and he listens to all of the things that are happening with his company, how they're spending a lot of money and not really seeing a high conversion in that return. And after listening and listening to all the frustrations and the problems, he said, all right, so can you fix it? And the guy said, well, of course I can. But the problem isn't your traffic. The problem isn't your ad budget. The problem isn't any of that. And he said, well, what do you mean? He's like, well, the problem is your funnel. You have a funnel problem.
And here's the thing, right? You see, when online got started, the funnels, right? Like, there was really no need for funnel expertise or anything like that, because it was very basic. It was like, they click on something and it takes them to their sales video, and it takes them to a checkout form. Right. But then as the competition started getting bigger and bigger, and more people started, running towards the internet, right, then the funnels became more of an important thing, because of the fact that now you had more people, which means that they were diluting the traffic, which means also that the consumers or the customers were becoming a lot smarter. So funnels got implemented in a way to make sure that you can make the most buck for that lead, to be able to generate as much money as you possibly can from that one person.
Right.
So that's kind of how that works.
Right. So that's exactly what we want to do here. We want to increase the lifetime value of a lead. We want to know how much is one lead worth in the Barbizon industry here, right?
Yeah.
How much is one lead worth? Is it 100? Is it 1,000? Is it 10,000? What is it worth? Our goal is to increase the worth of one lead by implementing a sales funnel, right? Because the truth is this: the business that can acquire, that can spend the most to acquire one customer wins. And this was said by Dan Kennedy, okay? The business that can spend the most to acquire one customer is the one that wins, ultimately.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so that we want to basically increase more sales, right? Increase the value of those leads, so you can go spend more on the ads, and then you can bring more traffic, and then bring more sales. And the whole point of this is to just bring more.
Yeah,
that's
more,
the point.
more.
Right?
So, yeah.
How do we do that? What's the first thing?
So what we're going to do really quickly, should we screen share, or would you like to talk about it and then screen share?
Yeah,
let's talk as we screen share.
Well, let's talk about it first, and then we can share the screen, and you can kind of just go over those components.
Okay, cool. Sounds good.
All right, so the first thing we want to do is put a sales funnel in place. Okay, that's the first thing. The sales funnel needs to be in place, and there's going to be two parts to it: front end and back end. Baby, what's the front end designed to do? Yeah,
so the front end is designed to bring in leads on autopilot. At the same time, kind of automate a lot of the back end stuff. So you don't have to do a lot of manual stuff, and if you don't have to do a lot of manual stuff, it frees you up to do more things, which is bring in more leads.
Right.
So the front end stuff is going to be a way to bring in the leads, and also to start putting them through a process so they can start coming to the workshops.
Yeah, and the goal is to also have them autopilotly buy too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Buy on autopilot, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be as much as the people who buy in the back end,
yeah,
but it will happen.
Yeah, but the front end is definitely very important.
Right, and then the second part is the back end. The back end is designed to just nurture those leads to buy.
Mm-hmm.
So notice how both are designed to get people to buy,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But the problem is that not many people have a back-end system in place. That back end is what gets more people to buy. More people buy in the back end than they do in the front end.
Yeah, and I'm sure you guys know this already, but you know, when someone buys once, you know, they're going to buy again twice.
Right.
You know,
Second money is easy money.
Second money is always easy money, right? So, is there anything else you want to cover on that section?
Yeah, no, that's it. So what's number 2? What else?
Number 2 is going to be called a value ladder. Why don't you talk about that, Ben?
Yeah, the value ladder is one of our favorite things that we've implemented, and we want to implement it here. Okay, basically, you started off with a bribe. A bribe is a lead magnet. It's something that attracts the lead to want to give them, to give you their email. Okay, so we start off with that. It's obviously completely free. And we're going to climb up this ladder of value. You're going to give more value in return for them, their money, right? They're going to buy, and you're going to give more value. And we're going to lead them all the way to the last step. That last step is obviously selling them the highest package possible that Barbizon offers. Okay, so we start off with free, and we slowly lead them up to paying, and then they buy that biggest project, which we're going to have to kind of brainstorm with you. Third thing we want to implement is what?
Oh, the third thing we want to implement is an email sequence.
This is your favorite.
Yeah, email sequence that builds rapport, okay, and generates sales, right? And an email sequence that kind of does a lot of the heavy lifting for you. And that's what a funnel really is about. It does a lot of the heavy lifting, so then you can focus on what's really important in your business, right? And of course, scale up, which is important. So an email sequence, you know, anywhere from 1 to 5, 1 to 7. So the moment somebody comes in, let's say a lead comes in and you get it, you know, once a lead comes in, it's very hot. And, you know, if you're not following up with them, if they're not receiving something right away, then they start getting colder and colder and colder. And also, you know, it allows you to kind of take in leads at all hours of the day without you having to rush to your computer, turn it on, and begin to start typing up an email, right? It's already call them. It's already submitting it, right? So they're automatically, they're automatically being followed up.
Right, and so, man, this is just going to be fun. We're going to take a look at that basic front end funnel that we send you.
Yeah.
And we're going to kind of just put in some of those components we just talked about, and where know that this has nothing to do with back end.
Yeah.
Because back end, we're probably going to need to meet with all of you and kind of discuss more ideas of what it is that you guys offer, because we're not really familiar on all the different packages and things. Yeah. So this is literally just a front end funnel and a little bit of a bridge to
very basic and you know, basic yet, you know, customized for like some of the information we've gotten from you guys.
Right.
So you know, nothing's written in stone. You know, of course, with me, basic, you know, going back and forth. I'm sure there's other ideas that would spring up. All right, cool. So hopefully you guys can see our screen. Okay, so this is the outline that we sent you. If you guys didn't get it, we'll probably put it underneath this video or something like that, and you guys can click on it. So, you know, the Barbizon funnel outline, right? So I put these little boxes, right? Okay. I'll make it big. Yeah, sure, no problem. All right. So, of course, the ad is going to be where the traffic's going to be generated, which you guys don't seem to have a problem with that. You guys are getting traffic from Google, getting traffic from Facebook, right? The opt-in is going to be what, babe?
Well, the opt-in is the landing page.
Yeah.
This is where we're going to offer the bribe.
Yeah.
Something free. We want to give them something in exchange for their email. People have to look at this opt-in page and say, "Oh, I want this," right? And the goal, right? The average in the marketplace is a 20% opt-in rate. Our goal is to take that. I don't know what the opt-in rate is here, but let's try to increase it to the highest possible.
Yeah. So yeah, absolutely. So like my wife mentioned, you know, an opt-in page, giving a bribe away, giving something away. So so the opt-in can be like a PDF, it can be a video, but in this case, you know, the following thing is going to be a case study, right? And a case study, it's really cool. And the reason why we chose a case study is because you guys have a lot of success stories that are coming out of Barbizon. Right. And because a lot of people are coming out of Barbizon, you can easily turn, let's say, you know, star who just, you know, maybe booked a deal from Barbizon and turn that into a case study. And then all of a sudden, what a case study does, it's basically dissecting why, you know, how this person ended up in this career, and also kind of painting the picture that if it's possible for them, it's possible for you, which is the person reading it,
yeah,
or watching it.
Right. And so it doesn't have to be that, you know, again, we're going to be bouncing off ideas with you guys. Maybe you have a better idea of a good lead magnet but we're just giving the example of a case study.
Yeah, case study. I think case studies work well because, you know, the way our minds work is that if you can paint a picture of someone else accomplishing it, right, all of a sudden, even though it's somebody else, even though it's not necessarily you, it makes it feel like you can do it as well.
Right. The purpose of it is to show the lead that there's a problem in the industry and Barbizon solves that problem. And we want to show them, how do we solve that problem?
Absolutely.
That way, the value, remember, money's only an issue in the absence of value. So when it comes to the purchasing power, now they see the value in it. So the buying decision is a lot smoother.
Yeah. So so exactly right. I love the fact that you say that, you know, money's only a problem. There's an issue of value.
Right.
I love that. And then of course, as soon as they opt in, you know, there's a little box right below that says 7-part email sequence
right here,
right over there. And what that basically means is that, you know, the moment they opt in, we understand that life can get in the way, and, you know, maybe they don't get to watch the case study, maybe they forget, maybe, you know, they shut their computer and they have to run and pick up the kids, right? Well, the 7-part email sequence, what it's going to do, it's going to create consistency and familiarity.
Well, just don't worry about it.
Right, familiar, right? It's gonna, and whenever there's consistency and whenever there's something becomes familiar to you, there's trust and rapport that's built. Right. So the 7-part email sequence is basically to do that, pushing them all back to book an appointment at the workshop session. And then of course the online calendar, right? So I mean, so basically all of this can be very automated. And again, this is very basic, right? But doing something like this would definitely, you know, I think would be very impactful.
Yeah, I mean, now the follow-up begins. I just noticed you spelled sequence wrong here.
Oh, okay.
We gotta fix that, but that's all right. So
sequence.
Yeah. So the next thing we want to do is that workshop session. So notice how you have the case study pointing to the workshop and the 7-part email sequence.
Yeah.
What this means is that after they get their lead magnet, we're going to take them up the value ladder, still offering something for free, but with more value, right? So what this means now is that after they watch the case study, we want to do a call to action, something that says, this is why you want to show up to our workshop, or go ahead and set up the appointment to come into our free workshop, you know, something like that, as well as our email sequence. The email sequence, every email is just about going to point the lead to setting up a workshop session. That is huge, right? Because that's where most of the sales are most likely made, is from that workshop session. So we want to push everyone to it. And
then of course, I mean, once they attend the workshop session, that can be segmentized and that can be put into another funnel that, you know,
that's more back end.
That's more back end that continues to follow up with them, except now that they've gone through the workshop session, you know, you can offer them different things and you can speak to them from a different perspective versus when they first came in and they didn't even take the workshop.
Right.
So I mean, you know, so yeah. I mean, you know, we're not going to go too much detail into the back end funnel.
Yeah,
right?
I think the back end, because what we want to do is familiarize ourselves with what the packages are, what the process is in Barbizon. And then from there, we can kind of get our wheels turning on what would be an awesome back-end funnel that will increase the lifetime value of a lead.
Absolutely. So, I totally agree with you. So
let's stop screen sharing.
Yeah, let me stop screen sharing here. Okay. And
bam.
Hopefully you guys, we kept it pretty simple. Right? I think it's going to be great. I'm just excited about the opportunity. I'm really looking forward to having us assist you in helping grow Barbizon and helping you guys really scale up and take it to the next level.
Right.
We believe in Barbizon 1,000%, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, you guys are cool.
And I can't wait to meet everyone.
Yeah.
And of course, you know, you guys know Barbizon way more than we do.
Absolutely.
So, you know, if you have a better idea for certain components of that funnel, of course, share it, because, you know, we're completely brand new to the process here. So, you know, we're just excited and grateful for the opportunity to be able to even share this idea with you guys. We appreciate you, Mr. L, Lena Marie, Lydia, and everyone
Justin,
here. You know,
everybody who's just awesome, which is everyone. We just
because Barbizon only has awesome people.
That's right. You guys only have awesome people. Well, guys, you guys are really cool. On the bottom of this video, you guys can get access to the outline.
The outline, in case you didn't get it.
In case you didn't get it, and when you click on it, it'll just pop up, and you can have it. Okay,
cool. And then hey, send questions back if you guys have any questions or ideas or anything like that.
That would be great.
Yeah,
that'd be very appreciated. You guys are awesome.
Bye.
Bye.